Thank you for tuning in to our Veterans Corner. Today we have a couple of really great guys as our guest. I have the Exalted Ruler, John Broadbeck, and the past Exalted Ruler, Jim Burke. I'd like to welcome you both to our show.
Thank you.
And if you're wondering why we have the Elks on the Veterans Corner, these fellows are going to impress you with what the Elks does for our veterans. It's actually one of the main proponents of their
organization.
Focus.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly right.
So, John, how would you like? You're the new Exalted Ruler. You're fairly new, a few months into it. How's it going for you?
It's going very well. It's definitely a learning experience about finding out exactly what the whole Elks organization is about, which is very impressive. But it's a very rewarding experience, to say the least.
You had a great year last year.
I did. I actually, last night we had our meeting, and they awarded me with a certificate that we were one of the few lodges that increased in membership. So,
nice.
But that was honestly was not me. It was a lodge, more of a lodge award than anything else.
And you shared a lot of your experience, I'm sure, with John.
I hide everything. Let him learn on his own.
He's doing a great job.
He
I
is.
think,
No, I'm very impressed.
He's really stepped up to the plate, and I've heard him speak, and he's done very well.
He's
So
doing great.
Thank
Why
you.
don't you tell us a little bit about, what the projects are that the Elks work on, especially as it pertains to veterans and our community?
Well, if I could just give a little history for people not familiar with the Elks.
Yes.
The Elks is a nationwide fraternal organization. We have, at the present, over 850,000 members with 2,000 lodges nationwide. The Elks organization and the Mansfield Elks are friends of the veterans. We're friends of the youth of the community. And we, in conjunction with what we call the Grand Lodge,
Yeah.
we support many different charitable organizations that involve the veterans.
Yes, especially like the Field of Honor.
The field
Your
of, yes.
Gold level sponsors since day one.
The Field of
Yes.
Honor is one of our main focus as a lodge itself, and you do a great job of organizing that. Picking you as the head of the VA, the Veterans Committee, is a wise choice in my opinion. But not only that, we have the luncheons at the VA. We have the veterans coming in, the St. Patrick's Day lunch. I know we missed St. Patrick's Day this year, but
It's already booked for next year.
yeah, I know. That's one of my favorites. I love, honestly, and having the vets come in by bus, coming into the lodge and serving them and providing entertainment and showing a nice time and what we can show them as support as for what we do.
Right. And as far as the community goes, I think it's very exciting with the joint venture that the Elks and the VFW and the Field of Honor are all embarking on now to help our police and our fire departments.
Yes, we have the highest amount of respect for our first responders. We've, as you know, we had a meeting last week concerning supplying them with a vital part of their response.
Buddy bags.
Yeah.
Right, and Jim Polio, the district deputy fire chief, gave us a great presentation. So in conjunction with the Field of Honor, as a joint effort, we've decided or that we've raised enough to donate 10 of these vital first response kits to the Mansfield Fire Department,
Right.
which was an honor for us to meet with them, to meet with the deputy chief and be able to help out our first responders.
It's great to work with the VFW as well as the Field of Honor Committee, who are, I think, is it 100% Elks of the Field of Honor Committee?
No.
Well, close.
But actually, when I appointed people to the Field of Honor Committee, several weren't, but have since joined the Elks.
Right. There you go.
So,
But
yeah,
all I
close.
can say is that
Yes.
it's a good organization from from the Elks to the VFW to the Field of Honor. A lot of similar goals exist between those groups.
Right. So we go to the VA as Elks and bring them luncheons. We bring them clothing items. I think in your year, you gave all kinds of sweatsuits, sweatshirts and
sweatpants,
pants.
Yep.
And we did packages of socks.
Yep.
And we've already bought underwear and socks for both the male and female veterans.
At the
Oh, okay.
meeting last night, I believe it was brought up that the Elks had granted the VA, the Veterans Committee, a certain amount of dollars.
$2,000.
It was $2,000,
Yeah.
which,
to spend on our veterans.
Yeah.
right, which, the Elks was extremely honored to do. It's one of our main priorities, is the veterans.
Right. And it's nice to go to the hospital because not all of them
Can make
can
it.
come out
Right.
to the lodge, when we have the luncheons there.
Yeah.
But,
When's and then when's the next luncheon at the VA? You said it was in
It's
October.
October 1st.
October 1st. Yeah. So yeah. And there's entertainment.
I hope so.
Yeah. So we'll bring the cornhole with us,
Yeah.
and we'll see.
Well, we're going to bring lunch and
Right.
some games and visit with the veterans and give them T-shirts and underpants and whatever else
Right.
that we have for them. And actually, Rolling Thunder Chapter 2 is going to join us, and they will be bringing dessert.
Nice.
And
Well, I'll
the
make sure
more
I'm there.
people, the better, because they can spend time with the veteran socializing.
Right.
Well,
And
The Elks, we're a firm believer in let's get the word out to help our vets and to somehow get involved in our organization as an
Right.
effort to help assist us in providing the appropriate services to the greatest people to serve our country, and they deserve our highest respect
right.
And support.
and
Yes.
support. And I think that's a great part of the Elks organization and what being an Elk is.
What made you decide to join the Elks?
Well, there's a good friend of mine who's serving as the leading knight. He, we sat down, we discussed it. He convinced me. No, actually, it's, through our conversations, I felt it was a worthy organization, and I became familiar with what the Elks does, and I felt it was worthy of my time to get involved in such a great organization.
Right, for all they do. And myself, I joined because of the veterans' work and being involved in the community. I mean, you have the hoop shoot. Didn't you run that last year, the hoop shoot?
Yeah. So the hoop shoot is an event that'll probably occur right around Thanksgiving, and we try to get as many competitive young women and children, young women and
Boys
men,
and
meaning
girls?
like from 8 to 13, and it's a great day to watch the kids compete
Yeah.
against themselves and come out the winner. And it's just basically a free throw shooting contest that brings out the best in everyone
Nice.
that attends. So
We'll be looking forward to that.
me too. We haven't scheduled it yet, but I'll
You'll
certainly
have to
keep you
come
posted.
and do a PSA for it here.
We shall. We
Yeah.
shall. And Jerry, you talk about all the things that we do for the Elks and everything else. People must wonder where does that money come from? We have fundraisers kind of throughout the year, various different events. The carnival, which I think probably a lot of people in Mansfield are familiar with. We've been having that carnival for
Every
years
spring.
down at Great Woods, or the Xfinity Center, as most people know it,
Right.
or is it the other way around? But you know, we've been having that carnival as our main fundraiser for the year. That basically supplies all the money that we have to give out to the veterans, to the seniors, to the high school kids that are, you know, going to senior night, and there's so many different things that we support in the community, and that's actually why I joined. It was just kind of, you know, it's the Elks are everywhere.
Right.
You wouldn't know it. But
No, they're very low key.
yeah,
And it's amazing when you find out all that they do.
Yeah.
You know all about the scholarships?
Yes, actually, the Elks, when I had first joined, I was told that, and I'm not sure if that's the case now, that the Elks organization actually provides more scholarships than
Any other organization?
than the federal government.
Yeah.
So yeah, and well, not a very good continuous, but we're having actually a carnival this fall, our first one that I know of.
In the fall?
In the fall, September 28th to October 1st, up at the Xfinity Center.
Yep.
And it's going to be the same amusement provider, Finelli Amusements, I believe. And
And they've
So
been
we-
pretty safe
yeah,
provider.
Right.
I've been involved in it since I've been an Elk. It's one of my favorite events. You know, you come down and you can do, as far as support, as far as an Elk member goes, you can sell tickets, you can flip hamburgers, you can.
They're
you
the
know,
best hamburgers, too.
Oh yeah, they're the
Yeah.
best. You know, no question. Yeah, and there's always a line.
Yeah.
And but if I could ask the Mansfield public and whoever else is watching to come down and support us, that's how we provide support to them.
This year in the spring, we had a pretty good year. But last year, it was a total washout. It was a
Yes.
big loss.
Yeah, that was my year.
Yeah.
Yep, Jimmy Black Cloud, they called me. Yeah, so.
It seems everywhere Jimmy went, it rained. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We still maintained a great
Right.
year and managed to do a lot, so that was good.
Yeah, well, we did the best we could, and you know, and like you make it up with other fundraisers. There's, you know, if we're selling something that we're not selling it because we're putting it in our pockets. We're putting it in our coffers so we can give it back.
Exactly.
And so you buy a hamburger at Family Fun Night, which I heard was a huge success this year.
Oh, it was.
It was.
I never saw so many people in.
You know, all
area.
that's getting given back to the community. So
Right.
we do have another one event that's coming up. One of my personal favorites. It's actually, this will be our second year. Is the fire truck pull. That's also up at the Xfinity Center, and we'll hopefully be fielding. You know, 2 teams of 10 to 12 people, and
It'll be fun.
we're going to be pulling fire trucks as fast as we can, and competing with other groups that provide the same.
So what was the date on the truck pull?
October 14th, I believe it's a Saturday.
And it's at the Xfinity Center?
Xfinity Center, and you know, honestly, they have food trucks. Anyone can show up and donate to the committee. But you know, honestly, if you can jump online and find our team, Elks 2633, you can donate that way, and it just helps us. Well, it helps a great cause, Special Olympics of Massachusetts.
Does it cost to be on the team? Do
You know, they have a request that each team provide a $500 donation,
Okay.
and each team member is responsible. So if it's, you know,
To
10
raise, right.
yeah, so it's 10 person on a team, so everyone's responsible for $50. So you know, however you want to raise that as a team member, you know, you can ask your friends for $10 a piece and go that route. But there's so many ways that you can.
And that's all
donate
for
that.
Special Olympics in
It's all for
Massachusetts.
Special Olympics, and
That's
Great
really
cause,
nice.
a great
Yeah.
cause.
we look to compete against other Elks lodges in our district, and smoking them. So,
Yeah. Okay.
And the fire truck pull is not. It's not an exclusive Elks competition or event. We have the Department of Corrections sponsors. You know,
team?
depending on which institution.
Right. We
You
can't
could
compete
get-
with those guys. So,
No, they're-
yeah.
I believe there's a team from the Mansfield Fire Department. There's
Mansfield sports kids sports teams, the football team. I think they've sponsored a team before, so
Right.
yeah, it's
Oh,
So
it's a
if-
good community event.
Yeah.
If there's organizations that aren't familiar with the event, go onto the Mansfield Elks website, and all of the information will be there in order for them to sign up a team and come see if you can beat us.
Cool. It sounds like a lot of fun.
I can't wait. Should be
And
fun.
then I understand that they're going to have, the Elks in Mansfield is having a Halloween costume party, October 28th, and that's open to the public.
That is true.
Yeah.
Actually,
so-
and I think I won one year for my
Yes, I
contest.
remember that.
Yeah.
Was that the year you weren't wearing a costume?
I scared
You
everybody.
came as Jim Burke and
Yes.
you got the first prize?
Exactly.
As I understand it, the tickets are going to be like $20, and there'll be music and food, so,
It's
and prizes for the best costumes.
Right, and another fundraiser for the Elks Lodge.
Exactly.
So again, you know, the public shows up and they're supporting their community.
It's getting very busy. October 1st
Yes.
is the VA hospital, going over there, bringing lunch and gifts.
right.
And then
October 14th
14th,
is the truck pull, and then September 28th to October 1st
First.
is the carnival,
Yep.
and then the Halloween party, October
Right.
28th. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's a very active little lodge.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and that's great.
And that's the way, you know,
It should be.
That's the way it should be. And, you know, again, you would like to see people come down, visit our lodge, come to one of our functions, and make some friends.
Maybe even join up.
Maybe
Exactly.
even join up. That's right.
Right. And I understand that if a person is interested, they can visit the lodge 3 times.
They can visit the lodge 3 times, and then on the 3rd visit, we ask them if they like what they're seeing, you know, then consider filling out an application. We don't mind showing the place around a few times, but you know, there's a reason why we're there. The dues that are, I think it's $58.50 a year,
Right.
and that goes a long way to supporting the scholarships and a lot of everything that the ENF, the Elks Endowment Fund, which is part of the national goals
Right.
of the Elks, and like I say, you know, being a member has a lot of perks, lots of perks, and you
Yeah.
can visit lodges across the state and across the country, and I've been to a few, and I've never felt more welcome.
And they're
Okay.
some of the amenities that they have are very impressive. Some have,
Yeah.
we were at Reno for the national convention a couple of weeks ago, and we visited the Reno Lodge.
Uh-huh.
They have an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Yeah.
And, you know, they had all kind of barbecue grills out for us, and it was
Phenomenal.
it was phenomenal. Some of these, you know, the amenities that some of these lodges across the country offer their members.
Right.
And again, like Jim said, all you need to do, walk into any of these lodges, show your Elks membership card,
And you're in.
and you're eligible to enjoy all of the amenities that that lodge offers. It's
And they're usually very welcoming. I know I've been to a few in Florida and around here.
Yep.
And they're very welcoming.
No question.
But ours is kind of unique.
Ours is definitely unique. Ours is very homey.
Yeah.
You know,
And it was the Mansfield Post Office.
at one time.
Yeah. And just to touch back on the veterans, I understand that the Elks actually built the first veterans hospital.
I heard that too. I heard it was in West Roxbury.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
that is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was
That just shows the dedication that the Elks have to our veterans.
exactly.
true.
So anything? Would you like to share anything about what you hope to accomplish this year?
Well, there's plans that, you know, we've had for the building, and it's kind of difficult to.
Don't say it.
It's kind of difficult based on, you know, what's going on at the lodge at the time, finances or whatever. But we have future plans in the making, and actually, what I'm hoping to do is just inch that a little forward, and basically within the next couple of years, come to and finish over, you know, and complete these plans.
I guess what John's trying to say is that eventually we're going to outgrow the building. The building can only support as many people. Right now we're at 330, more or less, members.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
And we're growing, and eventually we're not going to be able to fit. And we're making some improvements here and there. Maybe we can, you know, improve the basement and make that kind of another place to go. And it is right now, but it's not really finished. And but I would ask, you know, anyone who's interested in the Elks, come on down, take a visit, and see what we're about.
Great.
And then actually it could help us move into maybe a larger building.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So basically for the year, myself and my officers would just like to promote positive growth, support the Elks, and see what we can do to make the lodge a better place or improve it.
Right.
Make plans to probably open up a bigger building, but all of those plans are going to take
Time.
time, a couple of, you know.
But in the meantime, you're going to continue with the basic things that the Elks do as far as the veterans and this community and the scholarships.
And the thing, you know, the people can come down, you know, you can rent the hall, and, you know, if you have a function that, you know, it's small to, I'd say medium, you know, you can probably have, you know, fit 80 people, 100 comfortably, and you can come down and rent the hall. That's open for members and non-members, and but yeah, you know, it's fully functioning, you know, Elks Lodge. So I look to serve the public, the community of Mansfield and surrounding towns to our best of our abilities for the long term.
Come on down.
Come on down.
Make some friends. Enjoy our hospitality.
Right.
You're always welcome to come in. We'll show you around and
help support
There's
the
a lot
Elks,
of nice
help
people there.
support the veterans and the community.
Great. So now before we end our little session here, let's review all the dates that are coming up and what's going on so people can hear it again.
Sure. Again, the carnival, which is open to everybody, and rides and cotton candy is open at September 28th to October 1st. And if you've been to the last one, it's just like this one. And from there, October 14th
is the fire truck pull.
Is the fire truck pull. If you're an Elks member and you want to join a team, just come on down and sign on the dotted line, and away you go. And if you're not, you certainly can come down and see the event. It's like I say, it's got. It's not an Elks event per se. We just like to support that particular cause, the Special Olympics. And then October 28th is the Halloween party.
And that's open to the public. So
and that's open
that's
to
great.
the public with music and food and
some hilarious costumes.
Some hilarious. No, I got to think a new one. I need a new one. So.
Well, great. I really appreciate you guys coming on the program,
It was a pleasure
and I
being
hope
here.
people enjoy it, and they've learned a lot about the Elks and how they help the veterans and the community. And I'd love to have you back.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jerry.
you. Thanks a lot.
We'll see you down the lodge, huh?
Yes, you will.
Excellent.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the Veterans Corner. I hope you've enjoyed this very informative session with our Elk leaders. And I look forward to you tuning in again. Thank you. Bye-bye.